Guerrilla film, baby. So I was getting through another spate of films yesterday, and one of the films that I covered was Ingmar Bergman, the late Ingmar Bergman's 2003 film called Saraband. By the way, I think Swedes have like the funniest word for cello. They say cella, like that, cella, cello. It's an Italian word, it's a romantic word, from the Romance period, that is. Anyway, great film. Bergman just knows how to do it. He knew how to write scripts. He knew how to just get into stuff that really just dug into the reality of what humanity is all about. And he wasn't afraid to show it on camera. And Bergman had a way of bringing all of his actors to the party in a way that had them giving their absolute all, emotionally and physically. Like he'd have his own actors do their own stunts and do them over and over and over and over again. For example, I watched him just in the special features to Saraband. I saw him command one of his lead actors, Julia Dufinius. He told her just go down and keep rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling down this hill and bumping into a log at the end of the line. I mean, it was amazing just how deeply this woman would do anything to please this 80-year-old man who had such an illustrious reputation in Sweden and in the world for being an auteur, for being a man who wrote, produced, directed, fully engrossed himself in his films. To see people totally go to the wall for the guy was just extraordinary. I didn't want to talk so much about Saraband, which is a lovely picture that consists of 4 actors doing mostly dialogues, with all built sets. None of those sets were exterior, I think, except for one when Julia was running in the forest, which is just alone is mind-boggling. But I wanted to talk about doing things that really matter and doing things that really count in life. For most of us do things that are very time-consuming, but that ultimately don't build up our personal legacies and that don't help us achieve basically a kind of a reputation for ourselves that we can leave to future generations and that people will remember us for. Yeah, we do great work. Yeah, we do, well, that's also debatable. We do good work. We do capable work. We do competent work. But we don't do any work that really stamps ourselves on the situation or on the process. Do really the kind of things that will build up your legacy. Stuff that you can leave for future generations and people will say, like they did for Bergman, he was like that. He would make films that resonated with the human condition, that probed the depths of, I would even say, parts of human depravity, things like incest and sexual lust and blasphemy and not necessarily agreeing with the dictates of the church, for instance, in Sweden. Be known for things like that, and that's where you should be putting your money. If you're spending money already on your career, you're going to courses, or you're even going to university or some kind of a specialty school, that's where you should be putting your money, on the stuff that is really going to build your legacy, such that people can walk away and say, Adam, he's like that, and that's what he's known for. That's really what I work towards, that's what I think about, and I kind of obsess about it sometimes. I would even say that I lose sleep about it sometimes because I think about ways that are constantly reinforcing that legacy item, whether it's leaving these videos, whether it's recording audio podcasts, whether it's diarizing or blogging and things like that. All of these activities online have a very distinct purpose, and they're not done absent-mindedly or flippantly. They're all very part of a calculated concern about what the legacy could possibly be. And I got, again, thinking about that. I'd been wanting to record this particular message on the video blog for several days, but I just couldn't find a hook. I couldn't find something that would make any sense. But after watching yet another Bergman film, and I've studied Bergman a lot, I go through phases where I'll just go after one particular director's oeuvre, and I'll study and study and study, whether it's Ridley Scott or John Cassavetes, or whether it's Ingrid Bergman, or whether it's David Cronenberg, or Werner Herzog, or Pedro Almodovar. I just go on and on and on, and now I'm in a bit of a Bergman phase because I'm kind of at where I'm at in life. I'm in that stage, and that's what really reminded me of this whole legacy thing. You could say the word Ingmar Bergman to anybody, any filmmaking community in the world, whether it's in Europe primarily or on the other side of the pond, and people will know exactly what kind of films you're basically looking towards. Deeply ponderous, totally introspective, explorations in the human character, possibly the dark side of humanity. Those are the things that most people will say. Some could even say the angst, the anxiety. And that's really something extraordinary. If you can get there in your life, you've done something with your life. And if you don't work on your legacy, then whose time is it really? You know what I mean? Whose time is it? It's not yours. Something to think about. Catch you again tomorrow. And I'm gonna have one more sip of coffee. And something else, will Snapple please sponsor Vincent Ferrari's video blogs? It's a no-brainer.